Hello, I'm Jim Paxson. Today, the women take center stage in an outdoor adventure. Then Mr. Whiskers makes his return to our community fishing lakes. And we'll keep a close eye on peregrine falcons that of all things nest in downtown Phoenix. All that and more right now on Arizona Wildlife Views.
Arizona Wildlife Views is brought to you by the sale of hunting and fishing licenses and the Heritage Fund, lottery dollars working for wildlife. Some projects made possible by the Sport Fish and Wildlife Restoration Fund.
Welcome to our show. Are you a woman that wants to become more actively involved in the great outdoors? If so, we've got a program just for you, Becoming an Outdoors Woman.
Here we go. This is going to help you so much, darling.
Good job. Excellent.
You know, why is it we go outdoors and do things? And it's because it's fun, you know. Why do we go fishing with our family? Why do we go hiking? Why do we go hunting with our buddies? It's fun.
But it can also be intimidating, even scary for people with little or no experience in the outdoors. Lucky for these women, they discovered BO, short for Becoming an Outdoors Woman. BO is a program that originated at the University of Wisconsin in the early 1990s. Now it's in dozens of states, including Arizona, where Linda Deitman is BO coordinator.
Who wants to see the antelope?
General direction?
Every year you'll get one or two people that go, "You changed my life."
He's smiling right
Yes, he's looking right at you. He looked right at you. We can't guarantee we're going to change your life, but I will guarantee that if you come to a bow camp, you will have fun.
Let me put it outside
You
the
will
window.
most
Can you just
likely
kinda
make
go
new
a little bit
friends.
slower?
And you'll just leave very, very happy.
We adopted this program that's Becoming Outdoor Women from Wisconsin. And we got the first one off the ground actually in 1995. And in 1995, we weren't sure if it was going to work or not, but when we saw the enthusiasm of the ladies in the classes, we knew we had a good idea.
Mark Hollinger helped bring the program to Arizona. Now he volunteers to teach classes at bow camps every chance he gets.
Every time. Every time they ask me.
I like the breathing idea.
Feels a bit like a cool fit.
And then we need to pull on the shoulder straps this way. And then to get out, it's the same thing. Kind of rock yourself forward.
Bow instructors are all volunteers and experts in the subject matter they teach. Their students are women interested in learning outdoor skills in a fun, relaxed environment.
18 to 86 is our ages. 86 has been the oldest so far, and I'm waiting for that woman who's 87.
We probably won't see that here, but yeah. I think she's got a hawk up here on the cliff.
Sweet. Families. We have mothers, daughters.
This is an opportunity to be in nature with my daughter and feel young.
This is a good bird. Yeah.
One year we had 5 generations, all at the same camp. We run about 200 women a year through this program. We've been doing it for 20 years, so I don't know, that's too much math for me. But that's what's out there now, and I think we're making a difference. I really do.
The bow camps are run by the Arizona Wildlife Federation with key support from Arizona Game and Fish and Safari Club International.
So this is safe for you and for the fish.
Each year, 2 camps are held at Friendly Pines near Prescott. And then there's this camp at Saguaro Lake Ranch.
We started it off to show these ladies how you can live and play in our unique Sonoran Desert. We've got the river here, we've got Saguaro Lake here, we've got riding stables, we've got hiking. Tomorrow we're going to have a class on javelina hunting.
She emailed me and said, do you want to go to bow? I had no idea what it was, and I said, yeah, absolutely. And then I started reading about it, and I thought, oh, what have I got myself into? Javelina what?
The classes are always different, so if you didn't have a chance to do something now, they might have it next time, or something new. So you can kind of expand your skill set.
And if you want to find out how to hunt for javelina, you can do that, or you can make a tri-tip in a cast iron oven.
All the things you've ever or never wondered about, you can do here. Yeah.
You just don't know what you don't know until you learn it.
This camp at Saguaro Lake Ranch is considered deluxe bow because of its resort-style amenities that definitely appeal to some.
Yes.
Yeah, this is deluxe. This is beautiful.
This is a good intro. When your idea of roughing it is no room service after 9,
Yeah.
this is a bit different.
But every bow camp offers plenty of opportunities to try something new.
So tomorrow I have desert survival and desert hiking. And today I had the horses. That was really something. We actually went up pretty high and we were on some narrow trails and between cactus. That was exciting. And then crossing the river. That was really exciting.
I'll bet.
That was really something to have those horses do that.
Kayaking today was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. The water was nice and calm, a couple small waves. So we got to try out different techniques that we learned in class earlier this morning, look around, explore. I think we saw a bald eagle on one side of a cliff face, so it was just gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's exactly what he's going to look like, too. Okay, now for you, we're going to pull these out and give you eye relief. What you got?
Oh, hello.
I keep thinking it's doing good. It's doing good for other people. And I think we're doing a lot to recruit new people into the outdoor world.
And those people have a whole lot of fun becoming an outdoors woman.
You'll have such a great time that you're going to want to come back.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're already planning our next one.
We change lives sometimes, not every time, but we do.
If you want an up-close look at the nesting behaviors of peregrine falcons, all you have to do is check out the latest high-definition webcam from Arizona Game & Fish. It offers the sights and sounds of nature mixed with the unmistakable noise of the city, downtown Phoenix to be exact. That's where these peregrines are sharing a nest box. The bird on the left is the female. She's the larger of the two.
Our peregrine falcon nest cam is actually on a nest box above the 10th floor on the Maricopa County Administration Building here at 4th Avenue and Jefferson. You know, it was a pretty well kept secret, you know, just for your downtown folks for many years. Now we're going to let the world see it.
Darren Julian is an urban wildlife specialist for Game & Fish. He was part of the team that installed the new camera in February 2016. The first step was removing the nest box from its opening in the attic of the county building.
Dusty environment and stuff though, it was kind of dark, we had to put lights up there. We had to change out the mounting bracket, so modification to the nest box itself. We first started with cleaning up the old gravel. There was a lot of feces and bird parts and feathers, and there was just a whole bunch of stuff there.
Game & Fish first placed a nest box on this building back in 2007 after discovering a nesting pair of falcons the previous year. A camera was mounted to the box, but it never got any action because the birds continued nesting in a rain gutter on top of the building. Then in 2015, a new female showed up and decided the nest box was a better place to raise her young.
She actually laid 4 eggs. 3 of the 4 eggs hatched.
Unfortunately, none of it was caught on camera because the camera was no longer streaming properly. So the Watchable Wildlife folks at Game & Fish hatched a plan to upgrade this old technology. They enlisted the company HD on Tap to install a new camera that's capable of capturing stunning high-definition images.
We're going to have audio on it. We have an IR light so that it will be able to go at night. And once the birds set up shop and lay the eggs and have the chicks, anybody in the public will be able to turn on their computer and watch these birds go through their nesting cycle.
As the work continues, the falcons can be heard making noise on the other side of the wall.
We've got them practically knocking at the door.
By the way, it's not unusual for peregrine falcons to choose the city life. After all, these tall buildings are a lot like the high cliffs they would normally nest in. Plus, they'll never go hungry downtown because there are plenty of pigeons and doves for the taking. After putting the nest box back in place, the workers gather round a laptop to see what they can see. It doesn't take long before they're staring directly into the eyes of a peregrine falcon. It's a bird that nearly went extinct in North America from pesticide poisoning. But a successful recovery effort allowed peregrine falcons to be removed from the endangered species list in 1999. Now their future is bright, and these two have a clean condo they can use to raise the next generation of peregrine falcons. If that happens, we'll all have a chance to see something pretty special.
Hopefully they'll keep coming back year after year.
The National Archery in the Schools program brings the sport of archery to millions of students in schools across the United States. It's designed to teach international-style target archery in grades 4 through 12. Core content covers archery, history, safety, technique, equipment, mental concentration, core strengthening, physical fitness, and self-improvement. Archery in the Schools is a national program that started in Kentucky in 2002, with Arizona joining the program a couple years later. Arizona Game & Fish sponsors and administers the program in our state, and it's funded by special hunter education dollars from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Those funds come from a federal excise tax on much of the equipment used by hunters, anglers, shooters, and boaters.
There are 48 states that participate and multiple countries, including Canada, Australia, and South Africa. Along with that, there are over 10,000 students that participate in the national tournament a year, and that number just keeps increasing. In Arizona here, we have over 100 schools that participate and over 300 archers that participate at the shoots yearly.
The program teaches a lifetime skill, and it stresses skills over technology. No matter the student's size, ability, or gender, every archer in the Archery in the Schools program uses an identical bow, identical arrows, and learns to shoot at distances that guarantee immediate success. Nearly everyone can enjoy success in archery, whether or not they're the tallest, fastest, or strongest person around. The sport of archery is highly inclusive, and for many enthusiasts, it's a lifelong activity. In archery, students of all genders, abilities, and backgrounds flourish. The archery program also levels the playing field for schools. It allows small schools to compete with larger ones.
It's hard for a small school to be competitive in sports because we don't have enough kids, but we can be competitive in archery. Individuals can be competitive even if we're not competitive as a team. This is our 3rd year with archery, and the first year we took kids all the way to nationals. So we're very excited about the opportunities that this provides for kids that we don't have any other way of providing those kinds of opportunities.
Teaching kids has been likened to herding cats. They're all over the place, often moving to one thought before finishing the first. Archery helps teach them discipline and focus.
So they're able to focus, take those skills, and apply them throughout their life.
I learned how to focus and I learned how to concentrate. It's just a really fun thing to do. I really enjoy it. I learn a lot from this sport. My dad usually texts me if he's not at the meet, focus. It's just really a big thing about mental. You learn how to focus your mind on just the target instead of all the distractions around you.
I think the main thing they learn is that they're going to take forward is their own self-awareness and being able to set goals for themselves and reach them, and then having that focus of attention on minute things. That focus is so important when they get into a job later on.
Archery has some very basic and very important rules that kids must obey. First and foremost is
safety, safety, safety. That's our #1 priority. We have a very set, strict rule that we follow, and all of that is to keep the archers safe. There have actually been no major incidences in the program since the start in 2002 because of how safe we are.
We're very much strictlers about following the protocol, and one of the things we talk about a lot is following rules that keep us safety smart. And that's the thing I like the best about the archery program is everything is designed to keep the kids safe as well as having fun.
archery is a privilege, not a right. To be able to shoot with the team, they have to earn that right.
They have to meet the same eligibility requirements as the kids do for basketball or volleyball. They encourage each other and they help each other with homework, and they keep up because they all want everybody to be able to participate. We have 30 archers, so that's about a third of our school involved in archery. So it's in high demand here, and the kids are excited about it.
It's really fun, and it definitely teaches you a lot about concentration and focus, and it's really fun to do. I mean, it's not boring at all. Anybody can shoot if they really want to. If they strive to do it, they can.
At one of our practices, you're going to see kids having turns shooting. You're going to see at most practices kids going through as a team the 11 steps of archery that help them to improve. You're going to see kids in between their shoot time just kind of talking and having fun, having some social time together that they don't always get in the classroom. You're going to see kids encouraging each other and adults encouraging kids. There's not very often that negative comments are made. Most of them are very positive, and a lot of these kids, this is the most positive thing they have during their week.
Yeah, I get a lot of support from my parents and my coaches. They all support me whenever they go to the meet. They at least watch one of my rounds, the coaches, and then my parents will sit there for an hour or 2 hours just watching me. It's really nice to know that my family's behind me and my coaches support me. It gets you out of the school building into something funner.
Funner?
More enjoyable, I guess. I just feel like it lets the stress away from school, gives me something to do that's more useful with my time.
Well, to borrow a line from Tanner, one of the ways we make this sport funner is to introduce 3D targets. A longtime favorite of archery hunters, these 3D targets add a little excitement to the shooting experience as well as teach about Arizona wildlife.
It ties in great with the game and fish because all the species that they shoot are actually species that we have here in the state. These kids don't know that. A lot of them, the first time they shot, they asked, "What was that?" while looking at the pronghorn antelope, and we were able to explain to them.
Where to from here? Well, some of these archers have already had their first archery deer hunt, while others are making plans to try out for JOAD, the Junior Olympic Archery Development Program. But whether or not these shooters continue in the sport, each one has learned significant life skills they can take with them forever.
It's early September and Mr. Whiskers is back. Every fall, the Arizona Game and Fish Department stocks over 242,000 pounds of catfish into community lakes across Arizona. In fact, most of these community fishing program lakes are stocked over 20 times a year with catfish, trout, and sunfish. The fish stocking season starts in September with catfish. From November through March, catchable-sized trout are stocked. And in mid-March, catfish and sunfish make their way into the lakes, with catfish continuing to be stocked through June. If you live in an urban area, most likely you have a lake or pond in your neighborhood stocked by the Arizona Game and Fish Department. As of 2016, there were over 37 different waters to fish at in many communities across the state. There are 4 community lakes and ponds in the Yuma area, 4 more in the Tucson area, 25 across the metropolitan Phoenix area, a couple in Maricopa, more in Casa Grande, Payson, Prescott, Prescott Valley, Flagstaff, St. John's, and all across Arizona. Spending some time fishing out on the lake is just a great way to spend the day. You can get outside, relax, and have some fun. You can go alone for some quiet time, or bring the kids along for a family adventure. Marcy Alderman, the Sports Fishing Education Coordinator at the Arizona Game and Fish Department, has some tips on what you need to get started.
Number one, and probably most important before you place that pole or that line in the water, is to make sure that you have a fishing license. In your regulations, it'll tell you, depending on where you're planning to fish, if you're focusing on your community fishing waters, or if you want to venture out to some of our state waters and our rivers and streams. It'll have the breakdown of the different types of licenses that you can buy and those prices and what is covered under those licenses. So your essentials for your tackle box would be hooks, swivels, sinkers or weight of some sort, bobbers, and some extra fishing line. In addition, you would want needle nose pliers or a pair of hemostats and a pair of nail clippers to help you cut the line. And those are your basic essentials. You could also put a stringer in a tackle box if you choose to use that over a fish basket. Bait, do a little bit of research beforehand, know what type of fish you're planning on focusing on. Worms is the universal bait, so I always have worms no matter what I do. In addition to that, if you're focusing on catfish, you have stink bait, hot dogs, bacon, all of those work well for catfish. If you're focusing more on trout, that would be your worms, salmon eggs, mealworms, in addition to regular night crawlers, power bait, and marshmallows work. Sunfish are fun because they will bite on just about anything. Another additional bait that you can use both for sunfish, trout, and even carp is corn. That's another common or popular bait. In front of us, I have 2 different fishing reels. Here in my right hand is what we call a spin cast reel, or more commonly known as a closed-faced reel. Here in my left hand is what we call a spinning reel, or more commonly known as an open-faced reel. When deciding between which 2 of these reels to purchase for your child, there's a lot of questions that come up. Which one is better? Which one's easier to use? And more commonly, the spin cast reel is easier to use for kids. The simple push button mechanism here is very easy to understand, very easy to handle, and very easy to use versus the spinning reel. Typically for youth, if it's their first time fishing and they've never fished before, the spin cast reel is the way to go. And then as they become more experienced, they graduate up to the spinning reel. All right, so when baiting a hook, the objective is just to cover as much of the hook as possible so the fish can't see it. Ready to cast. All right, just before you cast, always make sure you leave a little bit of space between either your bobber or your weight and the tip of your pole so it doesn't have a tendency to catch or get stuck when you cast. Gripping the fishing pole like this, you're going to place your thumb over the button and push and hold down tight. Look behind you for safety that you don't catch anybody. You're going to do an overhand cast like you're throwing a ball overhand. As your hand passes your face, release the button, but continue with a forward motion. Once you've completed your cast, you want to turn your handle till you hear a click. And that sets your line. That way, if you do catch a fish, they're not going to continue to pull line out of your reel. This allows you to then set the hook. when a fish bites. And sometimes when you're fishing, it's just as easy as that.
Visit the Arizona Game and Fish website at azgfd.gov/fishing to get the latest information about fishing in Arizona.
Well, that's our show for today. For more information, visit our website at azgfd.gov. For all the fine folks at Arizona Game and Fish, I'm Jim Paxson. We'll see you next time.